Hey everybody, I am Heidi with Austin Entertainment Management here with my co-hosts, Swearwords. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? What's up, guys?
All right. Well, we are talking about some exciting stuff today. We're talking about making money. You like making money, right, Mike?
I love making money. My favorite.
Me too, me too. Okay, and more specifically, we're talking about making money with a music business and what strategy and what kind of mindset you want to have behind that. Joining us, unfortunately, her internet signal was not strong enough to come on video, but joining us over in the comments is our promotional products partner, Peggy Lynch from 21K Promotions. And we want to thank her for joining us today and contributing in this conversation. But first, we're going to talk about what awesome events are coming up this week. You ready, Mike?
Ready.
Okay, cool. So, first of all, Austin Entertainment Management is sponsoring Pharmapalooza June 9th through the 11th in Kekana, Wisconsin. You can go to howlisthebomb.com/Pharmapalooza to see what bands are playing and to get more information on how you can be there. And what we're doing is interviewing all of the bands. So last Friday, we interviewed Illuminati and we got to know those guys. They're super awesome. If you didn't see their interview, go to our website, hellsthebomb.com/Pharmapalooza, and you can catch that replay. This week on Friday, we're going to meet Alex from Bum Bum. And
Nice.
he and I had a really great conversation. He's a cool dude. So check that out. That's going to air at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time. And let's see. So that's the first event. The next event that is coming up, which, man, I didn't make a little fun graphic for it, but you're going to be able to go to howlisthebomb.com/events to see the new thing that I put up to feature our very own Joanna Tress, who is finally going to be performing her one-woman show.
Woo!
Yes. And, we've been talking with Joanna for a while about this. This creation is something she's very passionate about. And she's got such purpose behind the story, and it's going to inspire you. And you know what the coolest part is, Mike?
What?
You don't have to be in Orlando to see it. Although if you are, it's going to be much better in person. It always is.
Yeah.
But if you can't make it in person, you can go to the link. You can just go to our website. I've got the link right there, so you can go to the Timucua Arts Center website and get your ticket. And you can either get your in-person ticket or your online ticket. So I encourage you all to check out Joanna's creation. Her voice is beautiful. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Are you there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see it because I'm like so excited for Joanna because like we know Joanna, we know the energy that she brings to the table, and we know like how powerful this story is. So like I'm already hooked at the story, but to watch Joanna like sing it and throw her passion into it and tell this like incredible journey, like I'm so excited to see her like express herself that way. It's gonna be awesome. I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth. I bought 5 tickets for no reason. That's how pumped I am.
I
Like,
love
I
it.
don't
I
even
love it.
need
Well,
5, but I'm excited.
no, you can gift those tickets to other people and spread that
Yeah,
inspirational.
that's my plan.
All right, awesome. Okay, so there is that event. Let me just check my little checklist here and make sure I have everything. Well, of course, we always have other networking events and things that are going on every week. So just visit howlsbound.com/events and you can see what we've got going on every week and what our monthly events are and things like that. We always have a lot of stuff going on, don't we, Mike?
Oh yeah, definitely. Lots of fun.
Okay, cool. So let's get into our conversation. Peggy, are you there with us? Just type a little hello in the chat for us if you're there. And let's see. So our topic is multiple revenue streams, and this particular episode was inspired by seeing posts where people are saying, "Hey, I'd like to get into the music industry. I want to start a band. Like, how much money can I make doing that?" And so a lot of times I see in the comments, there's people that are doing it and they're putting in, how much their revenue is for music, and it's not really enough, to live off of alone. And so that can be really discouraging, right? Like you're only making 20,000 a year and this was the only thing that you were doing, like that's not going to be sustainable for a really long time, right?
Right. Yeah. Not unless you're gonna work yourself day and night, all day, every day. It's the only way.
Yeah, exactly. So there are other ways. There are people that are making it in the music business, but it's not by just having one way to make money. Like I'm writing songs and I'm releasing it, and that is the only way that I collect revenue for my music. And this is where some of the other comments go into, and they talk about, well, I teach guitar, or I teach piano, I do voice lessons. So there's things like teaching. But before I get into any of that, because a lot of you listening might not even you might not even hear this message if we don't talk about mindset first. How important is mindset, Mike, when we talk about money?
Uh, Mindset is literally everything when it comes to money. Especially after reading that book, the Science of Getting Rich, or whatever that book is, like that really puts into perspective how everything that you think of, that you believe, like that all plays a factor in how your finances are going to go. So the more you limit yourself into what you can do, the more broke you're going to be, essentially. But you gotta have the right mindset to be able to make money. Otherwise, there's no money to be made.
I love that you brought up that book.
Mhm.
I was going to mention it, and I love that you brought it up because that book was a big turning point for me changing my mindset around money. And I've been in business for myself a couple of years now. But it's that money mindset that I realize is my biggest point of failure. So I've been working on overcoming that. And so the Science of Getting Rich was recommended to me. There's no excuse. It's like narrated for you on YouTube on numerous different channels. So if you don't like the way one dude reads it, you can like go to another channel and someone else will read it to you.
Mhm.
Um, it's a book that you shouldn't miss out on. It's going to make you realize that it's part of your growth process to learn how to play the money game and accumulate money for yourself because you deserve to have all of the resources that you need to let that creative expression inside of you out. And that's how you're going to help the world the most.
Yes.
When you invest in yourself and when you are setting yourself up for success around money, that's how you're going to be able to help other people. You're going to be able to donate to causes that are important to you. It's not all about like, well, I don't need that much money to live. It's probably true, but there's probably a lot of things you'd like to accomplish that money could fund. And right now, you can't do it.
Yes.
So that was one of the biggest aha moments that I got from that book. But what I want you guys to realize when we're talking about starting a business in music is that everybody's like, well, it's so hard, it's impossible. Like, a lot of people have failed. So I pulled up some statistics about every business. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics recently released information. They say 1 out of 5 businesses fail in the first year. That's 20%. So that sounds kind of risky in itself.
Yeah.
And then over 10 years on average, 65.5% of businesses fail.
That's huge.
So this article that I got, I found it on Lending Tree site, and I can, Mike, see if you can put that link in the chat, and if not, I will get that link into the chat. So what's cool about this article is it has statistics as far as like what industries have the highest failure rate, what states have the highest failure rate. So they had one that was specifically for arts, entertainment, and recreation. So in the first year, it's 18.9%. 5 years is 42.6%, and 10 years is 66.5%. So it goes on to talk about why people still decide to start their own business. And I find this chart was extremely insightful for me. Number 1 on the list. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong spot. Number 1 on the list is they want more purpose and passion. So right now, if you're working, you do? You did it. I see it. I see it. All right, awesome. So we're learning things here every day, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
So most people start their own business because they want more purpose and passion. So if you're one of those people that has this burning passion to create music, and if you put it aside, like it eats at your insides until it's like, okay, I need to start doing that again. Can you relate, Mike?
Oh yeah. Too much.
So if you're working a really not awesome job, I mean, maybe it pays you pretty good right now, but it's not really fulfilling. Having a side gig as a musician, which a lot of people do this, they've got a full-time job and then they just do a little side gigging, or they're working in the studio and they're doing a little bit of music. That is the way that you can start getting your foot in the door and start to figure things out. You can use your job that is paying you to learn whatever skills you need to overcome that failure rates in business.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about money mindset right now, because I really believe that that is number 1 reason why businesses fail. Your mindset is going to self-sabotage the decisions that you make in your company. And suddenly, because you feel like there's a lack of resources, a lack of money, you're going to panic, you're going to go into survival mode, and you're going to make a short-term decision that may be good in the moment, but long-term, it's going to sabotage your business and you're going to close it down. So how can you use your job that you have right now? If they are successful, if they're making money, if they've gone over 5 years and they're doing well, what can you learn from them? Now, in my past work experience, um, here are some things that I've noticed. That is like one of the number one things that companies are thinking about is multiple revenue streams, which is why that's the topic of the conversation today. So if you were to entertain the idea that money can easily flow into you, it's not just, this job, they only give me this much per hour, like there's no chance of me getting raised. That feels really lacking of resources, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Big time.
And I'm sure you've been in that position too, Mike. Many of us are. That's how we start out.
Hey, what was that? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Oh, many of us start out in the position where we're working for somebody else, and then we kind of hit this ceiling, and we're like, okay, now what am I gonna do?
Yes.
The other scary thing about it, when you just have that one thing, is if suddenly that company closes or they fire you or something like that. Now you're like, well, now I don't have any money coming in. Now what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. I've literally been in that exact position where I was like in a company that I enjoyed and the money was really good. And then all of a sudden they just got bought out and then bye-bye company within like a month. And then it's like, oh, my good money went away. Now I have to find something else because that was my only income right there. So I know that feeling. It's tough. Completely.
So if you're working on your passion in a way that you got like some business processes applied to it, you can use that as a revenue stream, as like a backup in case like something happens with your job.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I'm going to shift into, now you're thinking like an entrepreneur. You're going to start your music business and you're going to figure out how you're going to overcome this 19% failure rate in music.
Yeah.
One thing that I read as far as reasons why businesses fail, number one, they don't have a business plan. They don't have a business strategy. So that's a lot of what we talk about in AEM, in our masterminds, in our group education, is what is your strategy? Because if you don't have one, you're probably going to waste a lot of time and resources. And that is how all of a sudden you run out of money, you run out of time, and now you can't do this anymore. So make sure that you go into it with a plan.
Yeah.
Part of that plan is doing research. So when we're talking about music, what kind of music do you want to make? What genre is that? How are other bands doing in that genre? What are they doing? Are they touring? And what else are they offering? I learned a very important lesson from Def Leppard when I went to see them. I think that was last summer.
That's awesome.
And we're sitting in the stadium, and they're doing the switch out on stage, and so they've got stuff popping up on the screen. And so they had just released a new album, so they were advertising that. And then they advertised the beer that they made. And oh, you can go to Stance now and get one. Okay, so they were advertising that. They created an app with a game, so you could play the game while you were waiting for them to come on stage. They also had like an auction website that they set up, so they advertised that. And I want to say maybe there was like another alcohol or something that they were selling too. But then like these screens just went on rotation. So number one, you saw enough times that the rules of marketing that stuff stuck. I remembered all of those things, except maybe one was a little fuzzy. And I was drinking. Okay, so like, I remember all of those things. But they were busy during COVID. They were like, well, we're not making money off of touring, which is a revenue stream for bands. They can choose. We're not making money off of touring right now, so what can we do? So they released another album that's a product. They created a beer that's a product. And, you know, if you look at the article with the link, the Linktree link, it shows all the different kinds of businesses and which ones are more successful. So retail is pretty high on the list. Any product that you can create and people use it and then it's gone and they have to buy it again is something good that you can supplement with your music brand. And while you're doing your music stuff and you're out promoting your music, you just happen to be promoting this other product that you made. Some people are going to buy the alcohol, or some people are going to buy whatever else that product is. They might not actually be that interested in your music, maybe. So the point of this is, as you're thinking out your strategy for how you're going to make revenue with your music business, realize that everyone, including just the average worker, should be thinking about having multiple revenue streams. And the more revenue streams that are passive, that are kind of like making money for you while you're doing other stuff, is what you want to find that you're going to incorporate into what you're doing with music. So your plan B, which is this other stuff that, you know, you're not as passionate about, not your music creations, but all of that stuff is going to support plan A, and it's going to give you the time, the energy, the money, the resources. That is where you're going to spend your time. Does that make sense, Mike?
Yeah, it makes total sense too. And like, I just want to reiterate too that like, even with all this stuff, like the reason mindset is so important about this is because you just have to believe in yourself and all this stuff. Because I know like on paper, it's like, yeah, just, you know, get the job and try to make sure that you have like the passive income and stuff like that. But also like believe in yourself that you can do this stuff. I know we've been like we've grown up thinking that like you have to have these basic jobs, the ones that look good on paper, and that's how you have a stable career and stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be that way. Like we can be musicians, you know, we can sell merchandise, we can find other ways to support ourselves, and that's just as good as being a doctor, being an officer, being any of those things. Like if you have a passion and something that you want to do, like go after that and keep finding more ways to support your dreams, and don't give up on yourself, because like you can always do what you want to do, but you have to do the work for it. It's not going to be easy, and we all know that, but as long as you do the footwork and you go after your dreams and you change your mindset and your mindset supports your dreams, and you're going to make it. You're going to be okay, and you're going to be able to do all these things that we're talking about.
I love that, Mike. It really does boil down to it's your mindset. I would even say over talent. You know, there are some people, I mean, and this all comes down, this is all subjective too. One person would say, oh my goodness, their voice is terrible. And like a bunch of other people would be like, I love their voice. You know, it's really talent and creativity when it comes to the arts is all like in the eye of the beholder as far as like what its value and its worth is. But what's going to make a difference as to whether or not you're successful with it is, number one, what is your success? Is it a number rate? Is it how many people know you? Is it just the fact that you can live your life and spend your time doing something you enjoy all the time, rather than having to do some menial task for someone else in exchange for money?
Right.
So define what your success is, and then take small pieces, small steps to get there. Figure out what that business strategy is going to be. What's your business plan? How many different revenue streams can you think of that are all going to support you having time to spend on music in the way that you want to be spending your time on music?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in an awesome position right now that the work that I'm doing, I get paid to do and learn a lot of the things that support the growth of my business.
Mhm.
And that's been my strategy all along with the jobs that I've taken, is learning more and more about business without the financial risk upfront,
Right.
which allowed me to step into the life of an entrepreneur knowing that I was going to keep my costs low at the beginning, because I was going to have to figure out what is my sales process, who is my stuff for. There was a lot of stuff that I was figuring out in that business plan, and that business plan is always evolving. That document isn't something that you write at the beginning and then you never look at it again.
Right.
You're always revisiting it to see where is another opportunity for the company to grow and make money. Where is another opportunity for me to learn and grow?
Mhm.
And the best way to do that is to look at who else is successful, who's doing it, learn from them. Oh, and one more example of this. Mike, you like Metallica, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't, right?
Okay, so are you going to their worldwide music listening party?
That I don't know. Maybe though, because I know you and Gil are going. So
And I think that's just awesome. Like, we're going to be in a theater here in Jacksonville. He's going to be in a theater in Brazil. But we're all going to be watching this listening party all at the same
Yeah.
time. It's like, you know, instead of just filling up like one big auditorium for these fans in this one area, like Metallica is figuring out another way to reach a bunch of fans all at the same time in a different kind of experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So when we're
Metallica's
talking
good for
about,
that.
right, and when we're talking about additional streams of revenue, this is like one that Metallica came up with. It's different. It's something that people aren't really doing. I think that in the future they will be. I know that I looked at that and thought, oh, noted. Like, as I
Yeah.
release my music, like, I am so gonna have a listening party.
Yeah.
So pay attention to who's making money in the industry, who's doing well. Follow the money.
Yeah.
Take the same mindset that they have. Copy the things that they're doing, but do it in a creative way that's you, that fits with your brand. You're gonna find where your niche is and where you fit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's gonna be fine, guys. It's like, start a music business. Like, it'll be great. Okay, cool. So we're 11 o'clock. So reminder, Friday, make sure to check out our interview with Bon Bon. And unfortunately, Peggy wasn't able to join us. That internet connection problem is a problem.
Yeah.
But we put her link in the chat. She knows all about promotional products. And so when you're talking about additional revenue streams, she is a great resource to have. She knows what products are selling in different industries. And so no matter what business you're doing, she is a good person to talk to before you go and dump a bunch of money on a product that nobody wants. Sounds like a good service, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
So her information is in the chat, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page and a message. We'll be more than happy to talk with you. All right, Mike, let's sign off and say goodbye for this week.
Bye, guys. Remember, believe in yourself.
Love it. Bye.